Today, I feel like audio journaling a little bit about an experience that happened to me. And here's the thing, I never really thought I had a pre-life experience. I've heard it mentioned because after 2020, when I don't know, my body dropped something, my consciousness, I'm suspecting, went away somewhere and came back to a body that was stiff with rigor mortis. So after that, I really began looking deeper into some different experiences, and and right away my spidey sense went off, and I thought, something's up here. This is bullpucky, and really heavily questioned and inquired over it. So I did the inner work on it. And what I call inner work is maybe more just looking at inwardly, looking at deep inquiry, just looking at getting to the root and the truth, parsing through more of the lies and discerning lies. And that's what I call inner work. Anyway, I realized, so I just have always thought, oh, I've never had a pre-birth experience. And I realized that once in a while, I don't know how often anyway, but it doesn't matter. Once in a while, I get this memory, and I've had it since childhood. It is one of my earliest memories of me, as I am as an adult, wandering upstairs in my parents' farmhouse in Saskatchewan. And this was before they had electricity, so this is before I was born. And I happen to know that farmhouse didn't never have electricity when they lived in it. So I'm using that kind of as my reference frame, my time frame. But I remember wandering around upstairs. I could see the upstairs, what it looked like. It was a very old-fashioned farmhouse. And then I could hear my mom downstairs in the farmhouse kitchen. And my brothers, now my two little brothers were, one was 6 years older than me and one was 4 years older. I think that's how it worked. Anyways, whatever. And they were collecting cigarette butts. So my mom smoked, and at that time my dad smoked as well. And I don't know if kids still do it, but back in the day, it wasn't really uncommon for little kids to collect cigarette butts and then pretend they're smoking it. And that's just part of the psychological process of becoming an adult. Like playing adult games when you're a child, it structures the brain to do, to learn how to be an adult. And you're patterning it after the adults that you're around or the adults that are the most influential to you. I remember seeing them running around getting cigarette butts. And I thought, what are you guys doing? This is wrong. You're really little. Come on. And I was calling for, at that time, was not my mom. And I remember her not being my mom. I didn't have a mom. And I was like an adult, kind of like how I am now. And I was running around trying to find her and call out to her, hey, get these kids. She couldn't hear me. I couldn't connect with her. Not at all. And then I tried to get a hold of the brothers, and I'm thinking, oh, that's where our disconnect really happened. They would have seen me when I was born, then they would have seen me as kind of a little shit telling on them and stuff. But I thought, they were the little shits. Really, I thought, these little shits, what are they up to now? And anyway, I do remember that very clearly, but then I push it away. I've pushed it away all my life because I have no idea what it was. And because I have no understanding and I'm not taught these things, I never knew who to go to explain any of it to me. So I just pushed it away. I'd forget completely about it. And then every once in a while, I'd remember it. Then I'd push it away again and forget about it. So this memory came back in my mind again just recently. And I thought, hey, I'm going to use one of my 4-step methods to look into this. And so I took it and I just let whatever came up. And then the second step was I question and I inquire over it. And one of the things I've done since around 2007 is go, is this true? What is the pure truth? Is this true? How is this true? And I would go, I only want the truth. So in 2007, I started to do that. And just as a little aside here, I had no idea until a couple of years ago that Jerry Marzinsky's friend and co-writer, I can't remember her name now, but she had a similar inquiry method in terms of asking, is this true? Is this real? Is this, what's the truth about this? She did the same thing roughly around the same time as I did, but I had no idea about her. So it's interesting how different people can hook up to the identical thing, not even know each other, know nothing that each other's doing this, and then maybe never find out that each other's doing this because she has no idea that I was doing the same thing in 2007, but she wrote a book about it, and so I know. And she interviews with Jerry Marzinsky, so I know about her. She doesn't know about me. And I processed this and asked these deeper questions. And then my third step is, second step, yeah, I'm just letting my real truth come up, my real pure nature, whatever that might be, whatever I perceive that to be, come up. Sorry, that's the second step. I screwed up my steps there. So the second step is just letting whatever is true, letting that come up. Just let it come up in whatever way. Don't force it, don't control it. And then this third step is inquiring and really getting into the hard questions of inquiry. Just let whatever comes up, don't judge it. And then fourth step, you kind of get a little judgy if you want to. I do, or not, whatever. But then the fourth step is I really dig into deeper truths and ask myself, or a purer truth, a purer frequency, a true frequency. I ask what, or how do I proceed from here? Do I proceed? If so, how? And that's my 4-step program. Basically, in a nutshell, my 4-step method. I kind of use it as a program to reprogram me or unlearn me or unprogram me. And I discovered as I was doing it that this was a pre-Earth situation, and I've always stuffed it. But, as I remember it, I can discern what it was. Here's the thing. I went into the details, some of the finer details as to why I would be interested in this, why I was taking on this situation with this family. And what I clearly saw is if I had an idea like, oh, you want to experience a body, it was accompanied with a sensation of, wow, yeah. And then when I was born, of course, there's a whole period of time where you really have little to no memories. Even if you have a few, they're very few. And then within 10 years, it's like it's a spell and it breaks. And then I'm like, what the hell? What am I in? What? No, 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 no. This is not what I'm here for. And then that's where I see that people confuse that with a choice. But it's not like something is missing, and what's missing was information. And the other thing that was there that shouldn't have been there was heavy programming to sort of corral or herd me into a specific thing that I perceive as a choice, but it isn't my choice, and that's why it always breaks. It always breaks because my real nature, whatever that is, we're not taught. And it just doesn't like that. So I wanted to share that little pre-birth interesting weirdness.